It's Rice. What a goal! Declan Rice!
Headed away. What a strike! What a goal! Eza. Still Eza, good feet. Eza! 2-0!
Goal!
The Gunners have doubled their leads! And it's Eza!
3 years, 3 second places, 3 times Arsenal went to the final stretch of a Premier League season as genuine title contenders, and 3 times they finished without the trophy. The 2024-25 campaign had been the most painful of all. 21 points dropped from winning positions, injuries at the worst moments. Sporting director Edu Gaspard resigned mid-season, leaving the January window completely empty. They were runners-up, again, for the 3rd consecutive time. The first club in English football history to manage that particular distinction twice over. But this summer was different. Andrea Berta had arrived as the new sporting director, the man who spent 15 years building Atletico Madrid into one of Europe's most intelligent transfer operations. His first window at Arsenal was comprehensive. 8 signings, not 8 names, 8 solutions. Each one addressing a specific, identifiable gap that had cost Arsenal points across the previous 3 seasons. First came Victor Gyökeres, £55 million from Sporting Lisbon, wearing that No 14 shirt. 97 goals in 102 games in Portugal. 2 consecutive golden boots, 2 league titles. After 3 years of Arteta building one of the most dangerous attacking teams in Europe without proper number 9 at the centre of it, the problem was finally solved. Then Arteta, £60 million from Crystal Palace. The story behind this one runs deeper than the fake. As they had been released by Arsenal's own academy at 13 years old, he rebuilt himself at QPR, made his name at Palace. And then, at the moment Tottenham thought they had his signature agreed, Arsenal moved in and took it. Martin Zubimendi arrived from Real Sociedad for £55.8 million, the deep-lying playmaker Arsenal had needed ever since Rice was poor. The previous summer, Liverpool had agreed a deal for him. He changed his mind and stayed in Spain for 1 more year. But his relationships in Spanish football meant Arsenal were first in the queue when he was finally ready to leave. Noni Madueke came from Chelsea for £52 million, paced on the right, comfortable on both feet, direct and capable of beating his man in tight spaces. The wide coverage that Saka and Martinelli had been carrying alone for 2 seasons. Christian Norgard followed from Brentford for just £10 million. Physical, spearing, a genuine top-flight midfielder who gave Arteta real quality as a backup option in the centre. Christian Mosquera joined from Valencia for £13 million as Young sent him back to death. Kepa Arrizabalaga was signed from Chelsea for just £5 million using a release clause. World-class goalkeeper cover for Raya at a price that made every other club in the league raise an eyebrow. And Piero Nkapie arrived on loan from Bayern Leverkusen with an option to buy. The left-back solution Arsenal needed for 2 years, comfortable in Arteta's pressing system from the very first session. Jorginho left when his contract expired. 2 years of quiet reliability in midfield replaced in profile by the younger and more dynamic Zubimendi. Kieran Tierney also departed at the end of his deal. 5 years, an FA Cup, and the affection of every supporter who watched him give absolutely everything every time he pulled on the shirt. With all new arrivals costing roughly £251 million in total, Arteta felt he had finally assembled a squad strong enough to compete toe-to-toe with Manchester City, and they began their campaign at Old Trafford. The expectations around Arsenal felt heavier than ever. After coming so close before, this was supposed to be the year they finally took the final step.
The 34th Premier League season is upon us and has treated us on the opening weekend with the iconic Premier League fixture. He will deliver. Oh, by India's flaps, and it's headed in by Calafiori. Well, he loves a goal in Manchester.
Calafiori right on the line. There's not. Arsenal launch with a win.
And he held it up for Everton. Eze Bowles. Roll will stay down here. Swings it in. That's not a bad ball. That's shot at it. Timely in the title race. And here's Dalman with an open goal. Dalman, surely the youngster is going to become the youngest Premier League goal scorer.
Arsenal are just 3 games away from a First League title in 22 years. And they get curled in by Rice. Just needs a glancing header. There's Saliba. And somehow Arsenal are denied. Somerville and Castellanos up there with him. It's Castellanos. And it required a strong right hand from David Raya. Speaking of which, here's Fernandes. Huge save by David Raya. Odegaard for Rice, back with Martin Odegaard. And Trossard! How big a moment could that be? Leandro Trossard has tightened Arsenal's grip, has given those Arsenal fans a moment to savour. It's up towards him. Raya didn't get there. It's crossed the line. And with a little over 90 seconds to play, they are appealing that David Raya was held inside his 6-yard box.
Final decision is direct free kick.
3 massive points, and now just 2 more games to go on the quest for Premier League glory. Full time at the London Stadium is West Ham United 0, Arsenal 1.
After the win over West Ham, Arsenal remained top of the Premier League table and moved one step closer to the title. Manchester City's win the following day reduced the gap.
Tonight to Arsenal and to Mikel Arteta, we reflect on what might have been. The fact is, City have won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but they pulled up just short in the Premier League title race. Bournemouth are in Europe, Arsenal are the champions. The final score here, Bournemouth 1, City 1. Well, let's go back to the studio and we can get the thoughts of Laura, of Izzy and of Ken.
Full time at the Vitality Stadium and it is finished. Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 1. It was not for want of trying that Manchester City tried to get that second goal in the dying embers of the game. But as we all knew at the start of the game, nothing but a win would have kept City in with a slim chance to win the title, and with that result, that does mean Arsenal are Premier League.
And when we do win, it'll be down to everyone else to deal with that, I guess.